There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on.
When you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.
Good luck.
We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might want to buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of this little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
The Force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
Hello there. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Nerdy Cantina, where we have food and drinks and a whole lot of discussion about a little thing called Star Wars. I am your host, Ryan of Nerd Culture, and our panelists slash co-hosts on these episodes of the Nerdy Cantina, where we dive into all things Star Wars. Please welcome, hello Snips. Welcome Christy back. Hello Christy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
How you been? Oh, I'm doing fantastic, and we're very happy that you are here with us. And also here on the panel is our other fellow producer slash co-host. Please welcome Jen back to the stage. Jen, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're very thankful that you're here. Now, if you have any questions for us or in any portion of this show about Star Wars, movies, TV, books, comic books, as Lord knows there's a lot of that, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. Just so you know, we're going to be, before we get to it, I'm going to be posing questions to myself as well as my fellow panelists here using this. It's the Star Wars 125 discussion cards presented by Insight Editions, hashtag not yet a sponsor. And I'm going to be drawing cards from this box. And what we're going to do is we're going to pose these questions to you, our viewer or listener, as well as our panelists and myself. And we're going to do our best to answer these questions. Now, these are just meant to open your eyes to the wonder and the magic and the majesty that is Star Wars. So questions could be who you think was the best villain. Questions could be what's your favorite vehicle, what's your favorite mode of transportation, what's your favorite lightsaber color, that kind of stuff, and maybe even more. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We hope you enjoy this ride. This is episode 2 of the Nerdy Cantina. If you missed the first episode, we do have a Star Wars Nerds playlist on our channel. You can go back and watch the first episode after you're done watching the greatness that is episode 2. But before we start with question number 11, in our deck of cards, I do want to turn things over to my co-host because this past weekend they had the chance to go to one of the biggest events in the world. This is a convention known as NYCC, which also stands for New York Comic Con, which is held in the Javits Center in New York City. So without any further ado, I do want to ask Snips, can you tell us about your Star Wars portion of your journey at New York Comic Con for 2023? What was it like?
It was amazing. So I started off Thursday going to the Del Rey booth where I got some exclusive Comic-Con book covers, which I was excited to get. And then I also met the editor of Del Rey, who gifted me one of the, a rare Star Wars book. So that was really shocking. And it was just the best start of the day. This wasn't even 30 minutes into the con. And I was just this is about to be amazing. And then speaking of books, I also got to meet John Jackson Miller, Claudia Gray, and then Zordea Corbeya. I don't know how to pronounce her name correctly, but she writes some High Republic books and some other Star Wars books. So that was awesome to meet some authors. And then I got to meet the voice actors for Clone Wars and got them to sign my canvas, and I gave them some of my canvases. And then I got to meet Ewan McGregor as well. So that was amazing. And just every single one of them, all 5 were so sweet and nice. And it was the best time ever. And just some cool Star Wars merch and cosplay. It was awesome to see. And I got to meet up with Jen, so that was awesome.
My goodness. So, in other words, it's like the song says, I'm having the time of my life. It's like that song from
Oh
that movie
yeah.
that Christy's probably never seen. But that's all right because we're dating ourselves, and that's okay because age is just a bloody number. Snips, congratulations on all that. That is amazing stuff. We thank you for sharing that with us. Now, you did mention that your fourth sister, also known as Jen over here, another sister or mother of Dathomir, however you want to slice it and dice it with that title. But I'm just curious, Jen, what was your experience like at New York Comic Con during the Star Wars portion of your journey?
Oh golly. I got to meet up with Christy, so that was a blast. And it was a very movie moment. We both were standing on not too far sides of where we said, hey, let's meet here. And then we both happened to turn at the same time. We were like, oh my gosh, it's you. It was very picturesque. And it was great. We got to meet up, we chatted, we shared about our experiences. For me, I actually met Tom O'Connell, who is Hayden Christensen's stunt double in Kenobi and Ahsoka, who wears the suit. And he wasn't really advertised that he was going to be at New York Comic Con. So I happened to come upon his booth in the showroom, and he and I had a lovely conversation, and we just like nerded out about Star Wars and just shared about our favorite moments. He shared some stuff with me, and it was a really great time talking with someone who was actually on set.
Wow, that's fascinating. That is great stuff. Congratulations to the both of you. I'm glad you both had fun. Unfortunately, Ryan of Nerd Culture could not be there under the circumstances. However, I do hope to attend New York Comic Con at some point in the future because I've heard it's one of the best shows in the world. Also, I have a lot of friends that have their booths at that convention selling their artwork, selling their things, their incredible work that they put together. And who knows, maybe one of these days, Snips, you could have a booth there. You could make some mad money, sell all those canvases, or to your table, maybe get some other fans to your table, and they'll love you to pieces like we do. So,
Yes,
hey,
Snips, you need a booth at Comic Con.
I think
it would
should.
be crazy.
I think Snips should have a booth. Do you think Snips and Co. _ on Instagram should have a booth? Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's make that happen. We're going to put that into the ether.
Yeah.
We're going to put it into the universe. So, Christy, we hope the odds are ever in your favor, and we hope you do have a booth at some point or another at New York Comic Con, which is held in the Javits Center in New York City. So, once again, I may not have been there in the physical sense, but I do know a lot of people who were there, and they did experience a great time, including, Christy, Jen, and some other friends of mine that had booths at the event. They had a great time. They sold a lot of their work, which is great business.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear what happened?
No, I didn't hear what did happen exactly.
So they oversold on Sunday. They oversold tickets.
Did they?
They did. So what happened was they sent out an email to all the people they oversold to and said, this is what happened. We apologize, but you can only come on Thursday.
Ooh.
So I too actually have a couple of friends that have their artwork that they sell at conventions, and I went to go see them myself, and they were telling me, Jen, Thursday was a madhouse. It was like a Saturday because everyone went when they got that email.
Ooh, boy. Well, the Javits Center, it's big place. Got to be careful what you do with that space. By the way, Carlin Stewart is here. He says, hello, Ryan Permerson. Good to see you, Carlin. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Thank you for being here. But, on one hand, a lot of people had good sales and good numbers, so I'm proud of them. Well done, all to the people who sold a lot of the great things at that convention. Because, my goodness, I have seen some Instagram photos of that artwork. Oh, there is some really good artwork.
They had a lot of Japanese artists this year from Japan, and their artwork is exquisite.
Is it?
It is. And they actually, I know this is a Star Wars show, but they actually had the artist one of the artists for the new Spider-Man game that's coming out, who is from Japan. She actually had a table in Artist Alley, and her artwork is just
really
phenomenal. Yes.
Wow. That's in the words of Spider-Man, that's amazing. So, see what I did there? You're welcome, Marvel. Even so, great job, great work. Heard it was a great show for a lot of different people. So congratulations to the crew and the people who are there at that show, including all my friends and good people we know over there. So well done, Christie and Jen. Hope to team up with you, and all three of us from the Nerdy Cantina can go into the Javits Center and own that place. So we'll see what happens. One can only hope, right? So we're gonna dive into the, in the words of Brad Pitt, what's in the box? This is what's in the box, and this is what we're gonna do. So, we discussed the first. Excuse me, silly fly. First 10 questions were last week, so let's go with question number 11. And here goes nothing. Get out of here, you silly thing. Anyway, so question number 11 goes like this. Here it goes. For Star Wars related, by the way. If you could name a pet after a Star Wars character, which name would you choose and why? And the second part of that question is, if you already have a pet named after a Star Wars character, why did you choose that name? Snips, any thoughts?
I was literally had this conversation like yesterday.
Really?
Because, yeah,
So you
Dave
can't-
Filoni has like a. No, Dave Filoni has like a quote that says like R2D2 is a dog and Chopper is a cat, and I was like, I hope when I get older that I name my cat Chopper. Like I want to name my cat Chopper or Chop. I think that would be so
Chop.
cute.
Chop.
I've gone with Chopper for my cat.
Okay. There you go. Wow, it's
Oh
funny. You
my
had this conversation
God.
yesterday, even though I'm just reading this question to you now. But, whoa, someone's popular in the backstage area. Whose phone is that? Because Lord knows it's not mine. Anyway.
Sorry, I thought my notifications were turned off. That's my
I hate when
computer.
people talk that in the movie. Anyway, I'm just kidding. That's a line from another movie that doesn't exist. So, Jen, the question on the table, I'm going to repeat it for those of you who may have just heard some ringing in your ears. If you could name a pet after what is known as a Star Wars character, which name would you choose and why? And then if you already have a pet that's named after a character of Star Wars, why did you choose that name? Your thoughts, Jen?
I actually had a dog named Padme.
Really?
I did, and that's her.
Oh, let me full screen that. Where is she? There she is.
Yeah.
So cute.
A cute dog.
Thank you.
Do we
Yeah.
know do we know what breed that is? Do we know what kind of dog that is?
She was a Dachshund Shih Tzu mix. She
Thank
was. I had her for 15 and a half years before she became no longer with us. So, but I remember when I first saw the prequels and I heard the name Padme, and because I was young, I wasn't really into a lot of the Star Wars books or anything. So that was a new character for me, and I just really loved the name. And I said, if I ever got a dog and it was a girl, I'm going to name her Padme, and that's exactly what happened. I would say it would depend on the dog because I have to go with the feeling of their personality, but I also like Chewbacca for a dog, as well as Vader.
Mm.
Wow, that's very sinister of you. Hey,
here's my weird prerequisite: the dog has to be completely black.
Yeah, I figured it's about, that would make sense. If you're gonna have a dog and it's just happens to be black, you can name it Vader. It's fine. Wow. Okay. Interesting. All right. This was a good icebreaker for question number 11, right? I think it was. Maybe,
you have to answer the question.
For me, if I had a pet, all right. I prefer cats to dogs. Just to give everyone here full disclosure, I prefer cats to dogs. So if I'm gonna have a cat. Let's see. If it's a cat and it's a boy, I'm going to go with Wedge. Wedge Antilles. I'm going to go with Wedge. Why not? It's interesting. It's outside the box a little bit. I'm like, no one's going to expect me to call my cat Wedge. Wedge, where are you? We need a Wedge here. No, just kidding. Anyway, so Wedge would be the name for a boy. If I'm going to have a cat that's a girl, I would say, what the heck? I know Kelly's probably my good friend Kelly's probably gonna think that I stole this from her, but maybe I did. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Mara Jade.
Ooh.
Because a lot of people have this love for this character that I know very little, if nothing, about. I haven't read the book yet, Heir to the Empire, sue me. But once I do read the books and fully understand who Mara Jade is and why people love her so much, I'm gonna name the cat Mara Jade. So there you go. Problem solved.
I like that.
I think Kelly would name her cat Mara Jade if she had a Kelly. Let me know if you have dogs, cats living at home. If you named one of them Mara Jade, I apologize, but let me know in the chat. Anyway, Kelly is awesome, by the way. Feel free to follow Kelly and Krayley at Phoenix Sisters Cosplay on Instagram. They're a great dynamic duo of cosplayers, and yes, they've cosplayed as Star Wars characters. I'm just saying. Anyway. Question number 12. This is interesting. And by the way, if anyone has any thoughts on this, if you who are watching or listening to this, if you could name a pet after a Star Wars character, what would it be and why? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. The next question that's on the table for both Christie, Jen, and myself is the following. And it goes something like this. Jen, who do you think is the MVP of the Rebel Alliance and why?
Oof. Most valuable person.
Of the Rebel Alliance and why?
That's hard because, especially with the newer content, and if you dove into the books, Jack Burnett. Mon Mothma, definitely. And Leia also pops in my mind, but I'm going to go with Mon for this one only because since we're getting into her story and we're seeing how much she's risking her life in Andor and the sacrifice she's doing and how she even has to navigate the Rebel Alliance, how it's becoming the First Order, and she and Leia pull away from that later on, which we get to the sequels in that part of the storytelling in the arc. You know, she has dealt with so much and has seen a lot from the very beginning of the birth of rebellion, what it became, how it changed, and how she had to separate and start all over again. Yeah, she's the GOAT.
She's the GOAT, yeah. She's number one. You know, many boffins died to get us this information. Anywho, I'm curious, Snips, who do you think is the MVP of what is known as the Rebel Alliance and why?
I'm going with Leia, just because I feel like she has been in it since she was such a young girl. Like literally like 14, 16 years old. And like she was a spy. Like she like put herself on the line for the rebellion like 1,010,000 times. She had to face like Vader, Tarkin, like everyone, and like had to act as like she supported their empire for a time. I just feel like she did a lot of stuff, especially from a young age. Like her whole life was dedicated to the rebellion.
I would even argue that it really started with the Kenobi show. The fact that we have now that from that age, her experience with Kenobi, and that being her first encounter like that with the Empire and almost colliding with Vader and her papa. That's why I said before, you know, that's a hard one.
And but Leia, just because like her whole life has been it pretty much, and she put so much of herself into it.
Oh yeah.
And you can find out more not only within the movies but also the books, including Leia, Princess of Alderaan. Then there's also the one that comes later known as Bloodline. I've heard that's a very popular title. No, I haven't read it yet, Snips. Jeez. So clearly there's a lot I've missed out on and I need to catch up. And it's going to take me a minute. So just be patient with me, young one. Patience, or I will help you not. So anyway.
The Princess and the Scoundrel is also really good because that book literally picks up the next day after the events of episode 6. Like, next day.
Okay.
You're reminded of, oh yeah, that's right. They still have to fight this battle. There's more to do.
I've seen that pop up at bookstores that I've been to. That title has shown up in hardcover or paperback form, I think it is. So I have to pick that up at some point. So there you go. More stuff for me to buy so I can just dig myself deeper into the rabbit hole of what is known as Star Wars novelology. So that's an interesting word, isn't it? Yeah, probably. In my opinion, who do I think is the MVP of what is known as the Rebel Alliance and why? If you have thoughts on this in the comments, let us know. I'm going to go Wedge Antilles because not only was he in the first 2 Death Star battles, but he was like one of the co-leaders of the second Death Star battle, you know, the Forest Moon of Endor. So he did a great job. He's a great pilot. He's taken risks in some of the books I've read where he shows up. It's so good. And he's doing some good things. He's taking some risks. And I like that. I like that in an individual. If you take risks, you know, if you don't take a risk, there could be no reward. So Wedge Antilles, 2 thumbs up, man. You're like rocking it in whether it's the movies, the impact you've made in the animated series, or the books that you appear in. Oh my gosh, his appearance in a certain book that I've read or whatever it may be is just astounding, and I like it a lot. So I'm going with Wedge Antilles. He's great. So that's my answer to the question. Hopefully that answers your question. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. So some people call this number unlucky. Some people think it is lucky. Lucky number 13, unlucky number 13. I don't know, but that's the question that we're going to ask you right now. And it goes something like this. Snips. You've got a job to do, a very important job, and you want to hire the absolute best bounty hunter. Who do you choose for the job? Bounty hunter. We don't need that scum. Yes, sir.
I kind of have one, but I feel like it's kind of cheating. So I have another one too.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite Ventress is Ventress as a bounty hunter in like the last couple seasons of the Clone Wars. I love her as a bounty hunter. I think she's so cool. And then she also like has the Force and her lightsaber, so it just like kind of makes her more powerful. But she's just out for vengeance. So I love Ventress as like a bounty hunter. I think that's cool. But like a real bounty hunter, I like Ebo. He's cool. He's got a cool hat. He's got a cool dog. He's pretty scary. So I would go Ventress and Ebo.
Okay, all right. Well, I have gained a lot of respect for the character. You're talking Asajj Ventress, right? Okay, I've gained a lot of respect for Asajj Ventress because of some of the stuff I've seen her do in Clone Wars, and also the great book known as Dark Disciple. What a book! What a book that is! My gosh! If you want to know more about the craziness that ensues with Asajj Ventress, read that book, and you'll thank us for it later. Anyway, Jen, you've got a very important job to do, and you want to hire the absolute best bounty hunter. Who do you choose for the job?
Boba Fett.
Doesn't that sound like cheating? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. I'm gonna hire the Boba.
Gonna hire the Boba. Okay. All right. All right. He does have a nice looking suit and a nice helmet, so you know. His choice of weaponry isn't too shabby either. I mean, have you seen his weaponry? Whoo, baby. No disintegrations, as you wish. No, we allow disintegrations, man. We allow disintegrations on this ship. Anyway, good point. Man, we've got some good names here. Man, we go with Ventress to Boba. These are good names. I'm going to go with one of these characters who just doesn't seem to want to die, if you know what I mean. If you watch the shows, you know where I'm going with this. IG-11.
Ooh.
How about that guy? How about that robot that just seems to be indestructible? He's like a Terminator, honestly. I feel like he just came out of a Terminator movie. He just doesn't want to die. And he always keeps coming back. Even when he doesn't get his bounty, he always keeps coming back. So I'm going with IG-11. He cuts right to the chase. Pun intended, maybe. And he knows how to get the job done by any means necessary. And I do mean by any means necessary. So why not go with IG-11? I'm going with that. I mean, anyone else like IG-11? I like him.
No, that's a good choice, actually.
Okay.
I like that.
I wasn't sure how you felt about IG-11 or not, considering he's made appearances recently in certain shows. But, I might be wrong. And by the way, for those of you just joining us and wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on, this is the Nerdy Cantina where we discuss all things Star Wars with the help of our friends at Star Wars 125 discussion cards presented by Inside Editions, # not a sponsor. And we're asking questions of our panelists as well as you, the viewer or listener. So if you want to chime in on this, whether you're joining this live or what is known as the replay, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And once again, thank you to both Christie and Jen for being on this episode with us, because we just can't do this without them. They're too good. So anyway, question number 14 goes a little something like this. Jen, excuse me, let me say this again. You get to raid the closet of a Star Wars character. Whose wardrobe do you pick? Boy, we're really digging deep with these questions, folks.
Padme Amidala. I'm raiding that woman's closet. 1,000,000%.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, she does have a different outfit on in every scene that she's ever been in the prequels, so, you know.
She has quite the wardrobe, and there's some pieces I'm like, yes, that is me.
That is so you. I would wear it on for you would either wear it, out and about or on the runway, whatever. It could be anywhere. Anything's possible. Let's see. So, Snips, I'm just curious. I mean, you were named after a certain character that's kind of iconic. But if you get to raid the closet of what is known as a Star Wars character, whose wardrobe do you pick?
I honestly, I don't even, her style's cool, but I wouldn't wear any of it. But I don't know who else you would answer except Padme for this question, for the sole fact that she's one of the only characters that has such different outfits, and they're so extravagant.
What about Mon Mothma from Andor? Her outfits.
True.
Her outfits in that
one
exquisite.
Mm-hmm.
I like Hera's outfit too.
Oh, Hera.
She wears the same outfit. I'll steal her one outfit.
Steal one of her outfits. She won't mind. She's probably got 500. What is it called? 500 of those things.
True
wow.
that.
Yeah. Oh boy, I get to raid the closet of a character, but whose wardrobe do I pick? Well, when you're a Jedi living in the temple for 50 years, you can only wear so many outfits. So, I don't know if that's going to work. What if it gets cold? What are you going to wear? Let's see. You know what? He wore a couple different outfits. Maybe not a whole... His wardrobe wasn't extensive as other characters in the series, but I'll just go with it because I think they're kind of cool looking threads to wear, I guess. I don't know. Han Solo.
I had a feeling you were going to say Han.
Let's go with his outfit. I mean, his outfits were cool in the original series. Like, he wore that nice outfit in the first movie, and then he wore the Hoth gear in Empire Strikes Back, which, by the way, if anyone has seen, and I know people can, say what they want about all the different iterations of the Funko Pops of this, but the Funko Pops of Han Solo's different gear that he wore in the original trilogy outfits that they've come out with, whether it's from the previous line or a newer, or they just, re-release it because it's the 40th anniversary of Empire, Return of the Jedi, whatever. He's got some good outfits. He does. I mean, I like this Hoth outfit. I like the Andor. What was it, like a trench coat he was wearing? The camouflage coat. Remember that?
Yep.
I don't mind it. I'd wear it. It's, I don't know. I'm going with Han Solo. I mean, he's the captain of the Millennium Falcon. Chewie here tells me you're looking for passage to the Oleron system. Yes, indeed. If it's a fast ship. You've never heard of the Millennium Falcon? Should I have? Anyway, great question. Yeah, Padme has a lot of clothing, so that works. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh my. This question. It's a deep one. I don't know if I can ask this question. This is deep, but I'm going to go for it. So, who was it? Was it okay, Jen? Is there a Star Wars character who inspires you, and how? Wow, deep stuff. That's the question. Mm-hmm.
Can you come back?
Yeah, we'll give you the Jeopardy theme song. Anyway,
I need a moment.
It's okay. It's fine. Snips, you're named after you know who. Is there a Star Wars character who inspires you? And if so, how do they do so?
I have quite a few.
Okay.
Of course, Ahsoka. And I think Ahsoka, because also she was around my age, especially when I watched the Clone Wars for the first time. So I always me and my mom would call her our warrior girl. Even till this day, she's just so strong in everything she does. And I just find her so amazing. I just love everything she does, and it's so amazing. But I also feel that's with a lot of characters that are around my age, in one of the High Republic books, this girl Affy. Like I love Affy. She's like older teenager, and like just like her just going through everything. It's like cool because they do it right where they don't mature them, and like they have them as these like young people that are like they're so strong that you just want to look out to them. So definitely like Ahsoka for sure. And then I also really love Kanan and Captain Rex in that kind of like survivor mode both of them have. They have such hope that you see in like Rebels.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like it. You said Ahsoka. Why am I not surprised? Yeah, no, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. It's because we love you. We love you. So, Jen, you've had a moment or two to think about it. So, is there a Star Wars character who inspires you, and if so, how?
Oh man, off the top of my head, the first two that come to my mind again, Padme Amidala and Mon Mothma, just because they have great leadership skills, the way they have to think on their feet, how they have to think of others. From every possible angle, and the way they sacrifice themselves for the causes they really care about. Really great, inspiring women to look up to.
Fair points, fair points. And actually, speaking of the character known as Mon Mothma, just for a second before I reveal my answer to both our panelists and to you, the viewer or listener, I'm starting to respect Mon Mothma a lot more than I did a couple years back. Not only with her, some of the appearances she made on, what was it, Andor, but also I did a rewatch of a little indie film called Rogue One, the best Star Wars prequel of all time. # those are the facts. And I got to tell you, man, is that movie so good. And Mon Mothma is good in that movie. She doesn't have a whole lot of screen time, but when she's on screen, she owns it. She owns it. She's like, look, this is a very delicate situation. We got to handle this the best way we can. We got to do X, Y, Z to get to point. We got to do this to get to point B. You know what I mean? It's just way to go, Mon Mothma. Great character. And Rogue One's a great movie. And if you've never seen it before, watch it, because Rogue One will blow your mind in more ways than one. Let me just put it to you that way. It's one of the best films we've ever gotten in the history of Star Wars, period. Anyway, is there a Star Wars character who inspires you and how? Well, considering the fact that I don't have it here on my desk, it's currently on my bookshelf, which is on the other side of the studio. There's a dozen ways to answer this question. There's a dozen ways to answer this question. Because right now I'm being inspired by this character I'm reading in a book called Lost Stars, which is written by Claudia Gray, called Thane Kyrell, who's one of the two lead characters. But I can't say for sure because I haven't read the whole book yet, and that's not fair. So I'm going to go with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I'm going specifically with the Alec Guinness iteration. I'm going to go with Alec Guinness. Because as soon as he starts talking about this thing called the Force, and Luke's eyes are just like he's mesmerized by this. He's captivated. And then Obi-Wan is teaching him slowly but surely certain ways of how the Force works and how you can do X, Y, Z to, you have this ability within yourself. You just got to learn how to harness it. You know what I mean? Obi-Wan's a great mentor, honestly. Like some people have said online, some interesting videos that paints Obi-Wan in a bit of a different light, but at the same time, you got to hand it to him, man. Alec Guinness played that role so well. And Alec Guinness is the only actor in the history of Star Wars to be nominated for an Academy Award. So, yeah. I mean, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. So, if you haven't seen New Hope in a while, or some of the appearances he makes in Empire and Return of the Jedi, go ahead and revisit those movies, because the stuff that he says, you don't think about it immediately, but when you go back and rethink it, it puts things in a different perspective. You know what I mean? So, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness iteration from New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi. The original trilogy, but if I had to pick one, I'm going with New Hope. So, Alec Guinness, we miss you. Thank you so much for everything you've contributed to the Star Wars galaxy. You will be missed, my friend. You will be missed. So, if anyone has a Star Wars character that inspires them, by all means, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. Oh, boy, these questions are... they're getting deep. They're getting really deep. So let's see if we can just make things a bit easier on our panelists, because I know Jen is like thinking to herself, can these things get any harder? I don't know. Maybe they can, maybe they won't. I don't know. So here's the question to the field is the following. Which Star Wars character is the most like you? And what traits do you share is the second part of the question. So whoever wants to go first, Go right ahead. The floor is yours. Which Star Wars character is the most like you, and then what traits do you share is the two-part question.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, most like me?
I don't know if I can answer that.
It's a hard one.
It is a really hard one.
It's a deep one, isn't it, Christy?
Oh, goodness.
I don't know, because I'm kind of like... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, most relatable, but because that goes with, life journey and what you've been through and how you can relate and have empathy for a character. But like me and my traits,
that's deep.
I don't know.
I mean, I can say I'm kind of like Han Solo, because he'll throw out, some funny remarks or some snide remark every now and again. Like, laugh it up, fuzzball. You didn't see us alone in the South Passage. She expressed her true feelings for me. I mean, granted, no woman has ever called me a stuck-up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf. Who's scruffy-looking? I mean, listen, I got this going on right now, so it's going on like, 10 days of a scruffy-looking, not nerf herder, but a scruffy-looking beard. For those of you wondering, what does Ryan look like? Well, I'm, just a normal-looking but I got this going on, so, I got a bit of a beard growing in. But anyway, I guess I'm kind of like Han Solo, because I can throw in like funny remarks to make people laugh, but at the same time, I don't know. I come to the help of my friends at the, kind of like at the last, when, I don't know. This is tough, but I'm kind of like Han Solo in a way, but not 100%. But I'm just kind of working my way around the question. I'm just going to say Han Solo because I can throw in snide remarks. I'm there for my friends when it counts in the end. And I like going on adventures, and I think Han likes that too. Like, he just likes to take risks and go on these crazy, wild adventures that maybe no one asked him to do, maybe no one signed him up for, but he does it anyway, right? Because that's just the kind of guy that he is. So, in a way. So I'm going to go with Han Solo again. I don't know. Anyone else got a thought on this? Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think, Snips? You think you and Ahsoka are one and the same?
My family does like to tell me I'm quite snippy at times.
I like that.
Ahsoka does her own thing a lot of the times. Like, she does what she thinks is like best, and also does like different things than the norm. So I love that about her. I also really like Admiral Arlani from the Thrawn books. Her like relationship with Thrawn is like the same relationship I have with like my brothers. So like like that's why I just love her so much. And she's very like rule oriented, but at the same time she won't follow the rules if she knows like she like just like when she knows what she wants to do.
Okay.
And it'll work out better.
Okay. That's fair. Got to pick an answer. You might as well go with it. So, any thoughts, Jen? You still got a moment or two you need to think about it, or?
I honestly don't have an answer for this one. I haven't had that experience where I said, yeah, I get you. Yes, that energy. I haven't had that experience. I mean, I think for me, it's more like when I see certain characters or continue to watch a certain character in their arc over time, especially when they expound upon that character more, I'm able to empathize even more just with my own life experiences that I walk through. But I've never had the moment where I said, oh yeah, that's totally me.
I mean, if, this is a minor moment here. I know this doesn't count overall for the character, but you like cats, right? I mean, Sabine and her pet loft cat in the loft, I thought, hey, that's Jen, right? She's got a cat. I mean, granted, I want my loft cat.
She was behind me earlier. I don't know if you saw.
I saw that.
Yeah,
really cute.
I saw the tail wagging in the background of the studio, and I'm thinking, is that Luna? Is that?
Yeah, that's Luna. She's like jumping around the windows right now as I'm doing the show.
Luna, how are you? Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. So, and I want my loft cat. I want my loft cat. I want one. I just want one. They're so cute. They're awesome. I mean, Christy, you want a loft cat, don't you? I mean, it could distract your, roommates in college. It's like, hey guys, I'm trying to work here. Play with the loft cat.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, you can tell your roommates, it's like, guys, I have a very important show. It's life or death. Get away from my studio. Just play with the loft cat for a while. You'll be fine. I'm sorry, I'm just making up jokes as we go. And this question's only going to get more and more interesting. So I can go ahead and, well, there's a couple things I could say to this next question, but let me think. Nah, we'll go with something else. By the way, Carl Witzman is here. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Here's a reference for you from the 90s. Finally found this room. Had to come by and plunk down my like. Well, thank you, Carl. We appreciate that. Don't forget to share this with everyone you know in the Facebook groups that you're a part of, as well as your other friends. So with that being said, Jen and Christy, what is your favorite Luke Skywalker moment?
Oh man, there's so many, but I think for me, just because it was a complete nostalgia moment, and I felt like I had like a circle of life moment, was season 2 of The Mandalorian, season finale. That right there, because it's one of the moments fans wanted for so long, was seeing Luke Skywalker in his prime as a fully recognized Jedi Master, and just see him come in and tear it up, and then have a moment like his dad walking through the door. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you. I cried at the end of that episode. I cried really hard.
I think there was a lot of individuals who were going nuts, if not crying, during that whole sequence.
There's nothing wrong with crying about moments in Star Wars, especially when you love it so much. We're allowed to express emotion.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Oh yeah.
It's completely fair, and it totally works. So what about you, Snips? What's your favorite Luke Skywalker moment? Anything come to mind?
I like the ending of Return of the Jedi when him and Vader are fighting, and that whole fight sequence with like Palpatine coming in, but Luke still not it's just an iconic battle scene fight. The ending, I love it.
You kind of, I think you looked over to the other side of my desk and wrote down my answer. So how about this? I'm going to cheat and say yes, the throne room scene in Return of the Jedi for sure, with Palpatine constantly taunting him, saying, you know you want to do it, right? You know you want to kill me. You know you want to pick up that saber and just chop me into bits, right? Well, just do it. Just do it. I'm unarmed. I don't have any weapons. Just kill me. Just kill me. And Luke says, no. It is unavoidable. You can't run from your destiny, my young apprentice. I mean, it's just that sniveling, conniving snake, you know? You know what I mean? He's slithering around him, just saying, just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. You know, it's just... Ian McDermott, I wish you were here to do that line here on set. But anyway...
Oh, man, to talk to that man for an hour.
Anyway, so the throne room scene in Return of the Jedi went, especially, and I did a rewatch of this. For those of you who may be wondering, I did some homework here a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was about a month or so ago. And I rewatched Return of the Jedi. Christy, Jen, I got to be honest with you. When Vader says, if you won't turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. Nah! And then he just goes into beast mode, and then you hear the John Williams score, and he's just like they're just going at it like it's nobody's business. And then finally he lets that full rage come out, chops his dad's hand off. Good. Your hate has made you powerful. It's just, oh my gosh, like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? And then finally he turns it off and says, nah, never. I'll never turn to the dark side. I mean, these lines are so iconic. 40 years later, you think of it, it's so iconic. You failed, Your Highness. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. Oh, so good. It's so good. And John Williams, right? John Williams. His score is just, it fits the mold to a T. So I'm going with Luke Skywalker versus Vader in the throne room sequence that takes place during the events of Return of the Jedi. If you haven't seen that scene in a while, revisit the living heck out of it, because that throne room scene, whew, it's deep stuff. Am I right, Christy, Jen? Am I right about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, Roxanne says hello to Ryan, hello to Christy, and hello, Jen. Roxanne Christian, ladies and gentlemen, is a superstar of epic proportions. If you have not seen the episode of And I Quote featuring Roxanne Christian as our guest, who is a music therapist, after you're done watching this presentation, go back and watch that episode because it is one of our highest and most watched episodes in the history of And I Quote with Roxanne Christian. So go check that out after you're done watching this. And it's good to see you, Roxanne. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Roxanne!
Hey, Roxanne.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. The song is in the back of my mind. Does anyone know what song I'm talking about? I hope you do. Anyway, Carl says, I didn't see the TV series known as The Mandalorian, but I saw that scene that Jen just described for us on YouTube, and someone put Bring Me a Hero by Bonnie Tyler behind it. Awesome work.
I saw that same scene, but instead, I didn't see that one. The Bring Me a Hero, I saw the one with Ben Solo in Rise of Skywalker at that end fight scene. They put that there. I thought that was well placed, honestly.
Really?
But someone actually put the Force theme behind for that scene in with Luke Skywalker in season 2 finale of The Mandalorian, and that hit a little bit differently just hearing the Force theme in that.
Wow. I gotta go on YouTube and rewatch the scene with the Bring Me a Hero behind it with Luke Skywalker. I didn't see that one, Jen.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I'm going to have to go back online and watch that. Thank you, Carl. Feel free to send me the link in the DMs if you wish, or if not, I can always just YouTube it myself later. By the way, Roxanne Christian says, heart emoji, thank you. High fives. Yeah, high fives, hearts, stars, all kinds of emojis in that comment. I basically think that's her way of saying thank you. Well, you're quite welcome, Roxanne Christian. We love you too. So here's a question that's going to throw everyone off balance. Jen, what is your favorite Darth Vader moment?
Son of a motherless goat.
I understood that reference. I did because I grew up on it.
I know. Shoot. How can you pick just one Vader moment? Dag burn it. That's hard. Can I pick more than one?
Yeah, we've been cheating the last one or two questions, right, Sniff? So we can let her have one on this one. So yeah, what is your favorite Darth Vader moment that's maybe more than one?
Okay, so one of my favorite Darth Vader moments is from Kenobi, where what's her name? Reva is talking to Kenobi, and she's saying, he's still alive. Anakin. And does the big reveal. And then when he has that revelation of no way, then it cuts to Vader in the back of the tank and his eyes open. And you get the emphasis of they still have that connection with each other. I thought that was such a powerful reveal, and one I thought we were not going to get so quickly. So for me, I really enjoyed that one. And then another one that I absolutely love is Rogue One, the Hall theme.
You talking about the end of Rogue One when he's chopping people in half?
Just that moment, because it's very Vader, if you will, because for people who don't understand Anakin and his long season of Vader, Anakin is actually very powerful in the Force, and he uses the Force a lot to keep him alive, and he can. There's so many books and comic books that show that when the suit is disabled somehow, he's still able to use the Force to do what he does and Vader it up. So the fact that that scene, and it's getting darker, Vader purposely turns off his suit just to add scary effect and freak these people out in the hall. And it was just one of those moments where we thought we were done seeing a character, and what a powerful reveal to have that character come back again in his prime, if you will. And who doesn't love Vader? I mean, come on. It's one of those moments you're like, oh my gosh. But then you're like, oh wait, this is bad. I should be happy. But it's such a cool moment.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people have claimed over the years that scene in Rogue One's like a horror movie.
Well, no, because when you really think about it, and understanding who Vader really is. It's not a really good moment. It's like, oh no, this is bad. This is really, really bad. He's here. We've heard about him, and now he's here.
Oh no.
Yeah, and those rebel fighters, the fear in their eyes.
Yeah.
They know they're going to get chopped. They're going to get probably taken down, but they're just going to fight for as long as they can. Makes you admire the Rebel Alliance to a degree, don't you think?
Yeah, their courage to actually face an enemy they know. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Help us! And then that very last second before he chops that one, like he stabs that one dude through the door, is when he hands off the disc that has the Death Star plans. I was like, help us! Like, take it, just take it. And he's like, launch. And then the Tantive 4 comes off, and then it goes off, and then all of a sudden we get a young Carrie Fisher. Obviously, it was Uncanny Valley digitized, but even so, I just rewatched Rogue One the other day, and I'm telling I just get so emotional watching those last.
Oh man, it was so good to see that.
The last 20 minutes of that, like the whole third act of the movie, is Rogue One specifically, is some of the best Star Wars in Star Wars. Period.
So
and
good.
The way it ties in to New Hope, almost seamlessly, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
Great job by the cast, the crew, the filmmakers, Gareth Edwards, Tony Gilroy, all those guys. What a film. What a film. Because that film is just epic stuff. So, and Carl goes on to say, I have to run, but I'll post that link about that video or to that video later on. All right. Thanks, Carl. We appreciate it, man.
Hey, Ryan, I wanted to ask you something real quick.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the fan remake of the Obi-Wan Vader fight scene? From
From Kenobi?
No, from A New Hope. There was a fan.
Oh, yes. Where it's like, more intense, more fast, and younger actors. Yeah. I've seen that. It was good.
So good.
Would it have made A New Hope any better? Probably, but at the same time, what we got was revolutionary enough as it was in 1977, so I'm good with the fight that we did get.
Oh, no, I would not want that to replace what we have in A New Hope. Absolutely not. But it's really cool that someone with current technology is like, hey, let's have a little fun.
That's true. But yes, I have seen that video on social media. It's really good. What was it? Christie, the question on everyone's mind apparently is we're going to the dark side of the Force. So what is your favorite Darth Vader moment?
When I went to Hayden's panel back in June, like they made like a video and you could like submit one. And the one that I submitted was from Kenobi when Obi-Wan slashes Vader's mask open, and like when Vader just goes like, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did. I just think that is one of the best things. Like, it is so true. Like I love that moment. And then like Obi-Wan's reaction, just everything about that like fight scene, especially once it like comes to an end and he's like wheezing on the ground and his like face is slashed open. I love everything about it.
That's such a heavy moment, the dialogue between them, because they both get an opportunity to say things to each other they've always probably wanted to say.
Yeah.
And then yeah, gosh, man, that scene is powerful. That's a good pick.
I love it.
Absolutely
love it.
That scene in Kenobi was the first time I actually really started to respect Hayden Christensen as playing that part. Because I've seen him in other stuff that he's done good acting work in, don't get me wrong. But I didn't really care for his Anakin iteration because it was bad writing. So, but in this case...
That's not his fault.
No, I know it's not his fault, but it still doesn't make me... At the time, it didn't really make me much of a fan. However, with his recent appearances in Kenobi, that was good. But his more screen time that he's been given recently in Ahsoka really made me respect Hayden and say, you know what? Now that they have good writers and they know what the frack they're doing with this character... This is good stuff. Hayden's doing it very, very well. So thumbs up to both the writers and the cast. So well done, Hayden.
Never doubted Hayden for one moment.
I've doubted him for 20 years, but nowadays I'm cool. Like I respect him. I like what he's done. If they make a Clone Wars live action movie with him and Ariana Greenblatt, give it to me because I want to see Hayden do more of it. I want to see him do it.
I hope Hayden gets an Emmy for what he did in Ahsoka because he played so many different versions of Anakin.
It was so good.
and executed it so well. I've always found him to be a brilliant artist, so he deserves an Emmy.
That's fair. Favorite Darth Vader moment for me? I mean, there's so many. That's the biggest problem with some of these questions, but I'll throw this one in anyway. And by the way, Dave Mattingly says, hello to Ryan, Christie, and Jenn. Hello, Dave Mattingly. Good to see you, sir. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Ahsoka Anakin is the best Anakin. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, hey, that's the best performance I've seen him give so far in his career as Anakin, not counting his other work because he's done some other acting.
Oh, man. Fighting words.
I'm sorry, but I call it like I see it. But anyway, favorite Darth Vader moment. Let's go with this for a minute. So for me, it's a mix between the two. One of them is his appearance with Obi-Wan in New Hope. I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. That's like deep-rooted stuff.
So good.
That's deep-rooted stuff. And then the other thing that I liked about his character, this is going back to Darth Vader for a minute. Then the question on the table for those of you just joining us is, what is your favorite Darth Vader moment? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Join us live on the replay. Thank you for being here. And do not forget to like and share this episode of the Nerdy Cantina with everyone you know. Is the moment he shows up on Bespin and Luke Skywalker exits that elevator, everything is quiet, and then the lights turn on. The Force is with you, young Skywalker, but you are not a Jedi yet. Like, that is prime Vader. That's prime Vader. That's like prime taunting of it. It's so good. It's like, you're not a Jedi yet. Like that line alone is delivered perfectly. I don't know how you two feel about it, but
James Earl Jones, man.
He was born for that. He really. Look at this actor's accomplished, Christy. This guy goes from playing voicing one of the most iconic villains in the history of cinema, to voicing one of the best father figures in cinematic history with Lion King.
Yep.
And then he did it again in 1989's Field of Dreams, as that reporter, I forget the character name, but he was really good in that too. Oh, Terrence Mann. He was great as Terrence Mann in Field of Dreams. By the way, Field of Dreams is one of the greatest movies ever on Earth, period. Okay? One of the greatest movies ever. So if you've never seen Field of Dreams, watch that movie. The performances are golden. Anyway, those are my favorite Vader moments. So there's the answer to that question. Good Lord, these questions are good, but yet they're so deep. And then Dave Mattingly goes on to say, my favorite Darth Vader moment is in the hallway scene at the end of Rogue One. Well, we did bring that up earlier, Dave.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
I believe it was Jen who brought it up.
Iconic.
So there you go. Points for him. Dave Mattingly says, my second favorite Darth Vader moment is when he gets, what does this say? Annoyed during an office meeting? Oh, and starts to force choke a coworker. Well, what scene are you talking about? The scene where he says, I find your lack of faith disturbing. It's like, I mean, what scene are you talking about?
I had that conversation recently where someone posed a question, said, what's the worst way to die? I said, Darth Vader.
Force
choke. And why would you say that? Like, he's empowered by the Force, and his go-to move is the Force choke. And you either have one of two options. He either does it in front of you by looking at you, or he does it from behind you, and you have no idea it's happening until you're dead.
Yeah. Apology accepted, Captain Nita. Anyway, we can talk about Darth Vader all night long, but we're not going to do that. So the next question up for bids on The Price is Right. I'm sorry, the Nerdy Cantina, presented by Nerd Culture and Company at It's Nerd Culture and at Nerd Culture channel on YouTube. Snips, if you could visit a Star Wars filming location, where on our planet do you dream of going?
I want to go to Lake Como, Italy so bad, where Naboo is. I want to do that so bad.
That's my answer too.
I say that all the time.
Your sisters are cheating. Okay.
No,
all the time.
Every time I see photos from people on social media,
I'm like, I want to go.
TikTok, I'm like,
go.
nabbit. I need to get there somehow.
Well, you know how we all feel about sand, right? It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating. And it gets everywhere. So I probably wouldn't want to visit the Tunisian desert, if I'm not mistaken. Is that where they filmed the Tatooine scene? So
I believe so.
Don't think I want to go there, but Naboo, I do like how Naboo looks as a planet and the environment and stuff. So Naboo wouldn't be a bad place. The place in Italy that you just named. Yeah, Italy would be nice. I've never been to Italy, by the way. I would like to visit there. I'd like to go there. So, who knows? Let's see. I can't think of any other filming location. All I can think of is the desert. Oh, gosh. I don't want to visit where they filmed Hoth because Hoth is icy and cold. I don't want to freeze my tauntauns off. So, just... Did they film Return of the Jedi like in a forest area near LA or something?
I think it's in one of the national parks.
Yeah, the Forest Hill, was it Forest Hill National Park, whatever it was called?
Don't think so.
Or the Red Forest National Park? I don't remember, but anyway,
but yeah, it's close to LA.
Thank you. I go to the location where they filmed the Endor sequences because that's kind of cool. But I'd probably just cheat off of Christie and Jenn's paper and go with, I don't know, what was it called? Lake Como, Italy? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Am I wrong? Okay, no, I was right. Okay, great. Fantastic. Moving on. All right, that was an easy question. No, it wasn't. But anyway, as we round up this group of questions here, we're at question number 20. So this is going to round us off here. Okay, how about this, Snips? Jyn Erso, the character of Jyn Erso, uses several different names while she's on the move. What would your Star Wars alias be?
Oh, jeez.
My goodness, man, we're going back to Rogue One all of a sudden, which is not a bad thing because Rogue One's one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. Period. I think it's my number 2, if not my number 1. I think it's my number 2. It's my number 2. Yeah, it's my number 2. While Christie and Jenn will think about the question, which, by the way, the question goes over to you, our incredible audience. Jyn Erso uses several different names while she's on the move. What would your Star Wars alias be? Dave Manley goes on to say, I'd like to visit Renish Vajara, used for the planet Edu. Okay. I dig it. My Star Wars alias would be Mal Reynolds for Dave Mattingly, respectively. Okay.
I actually have an answer to this one.
Oh, go ahead.
I would actually use a character I actually role-played with in a Star Wars role-playing game. And that character was named Natsua.
Ew.
Natsua. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That would be my alias.
I like the creativity, by the way.
Thank you.
It's astounding. Hey, listen, it's better than my creativity. When I think of Alias, I think of the TV series that ran for 5 years called Alias with a little indie known actress known as Jennifer Garner. But I can't pick any of those aliases because that's a different character. So I'm not going to do that on this show. And by the way, Jennifer Garner, if you're watching this episode of the Nerdy Cantina, great work on Alias and great work in some of your movies, including 13 Going on 30.
Oh, it's my favorite. I love that one.
Is that your favorite Jennifer Garner movie, though? Do you think that's her best performance in a film?
That's one she has done really great work overall, but that's one of the ones I replay a lot. So for me, I would say so.
Okay. Well, if no one's ever seen 13 Going on 30, you might want to go ahead and watch it because it's one of the better, what do you call it, rom-coms? Is that the genre it fits in? Yeah, there you go. Rom-coms. And by the way, Dave Mattingly answers the question for you here, Snips. He says, question for Jen. Jen, which Star Wars RPG are you referring to? The old WEG D6, the newer D20? What are you getting at?
It was a newer D20 that we played. We haven't played it in a while.
There you go. Hopefully that answers your question, Dave. Wonderful. What do you think, Snips? You're on the run from the evil clutches of the Empire and what do you call the other one? The First Order. What would your Star Wars alias be if you're on the run?
I don't even know. This is a difficult one.
Forces you to come up with some improvisation. Right?
I don't even know what I would do because Star Wars has such weird names that it could literally be anything.
I don't think I can use the name that I just read in this book that I'm reading right now, so that's kind of cheating, so I don't want to use that person's name.
I remember when I watched Rogue One and they introduced Jyn Erso's character and her name was spelled Jyn. My mom was like, your name isn't Star Wars, but with the Y.
That's funny.
My mom was so excited. She's like, oh my gosh, your name isn't Star Wars. It's Miss Star Wars. It's Miss Star Wars. I know.
Oh my gosh. Your mother said that? That's amazing.
He was so excited.
So what's your name again? Jen Ursa. No, it's Jen. Oh my God.
Well, no, because there's a few times where you hear the name, it sounds like Jen.
Yeah.
My name is in Star Wars? Okay. I'll take it.
Great.
That's awesome.
That's by the way, thank you for sharing that incredible memory of between you and your family with us. That is amazing. By the way, Dave Malley goes on to say, my favorite Jennifer Garner performance movie is in Catch Me If You Can.
That's a good one.
With Leo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks, which I just did a rewatch of, coincidentally enough, a few weeks ago, Jen and Christy. And I got to tell you, that's a good movie. That's a good Spielberg movie. That's one of his better movies for Spielberg.
Super 8 is so good. I love Super 8.
If you've never seen the movie Catch Me If You Can, directed by Steven Spielberg, Christy, go ahead and watch that one night. It's pretty good.
I don't know why that's just. I would do something. I would turn like a flower name into my name. Like I would do like, because I was thinking of different characters and actors, and then like Daisy Ridley came into my mind, or like maybe like Sun something, because there's a character in the High Republic called Sunshine, but he's kind of annoying. So not that, but something along like those lines, like either like a flower or the sun.
I'm gonna go with. Well, I can't use other characters. I want to try to like do a combination of something that's like kind of outside the norm. I don't know why this is. I'm just going to improv here. I'm not very good at improv when I did acting when I was in high school and college theater, but I'm going to do this the best I can. Well, I can't. Let's see. What's the last name of this character? I got to think of it because it's. This is so hard. Oh my gosh. I thought I had it and I lost it. Oh my gosh. So let's go. Teo Baylor.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go with that. Because it's not conflicting with the other well-known characters in the Star Wars galaxy, right? I'm not cheating, right? I'm going to go with Teo Baylor. How about that? Let's go with that. Teo Baylor. Does anyone else have a thought on that name?
Cool.
Do you think it works? Do you think that would work in a Star Wars novel?
Oh yeah,
I think so.
Teo Baylor, Teo, and then what is it?
Smuggler with that name if you wanted to.
What was that?
You could be a smuggler with that name if you wanted to.
Okay, I could be. Hey, listen, I don't mind being a smuggler or a bounty hunter. Bounty hunters, we don't need the scum. Yes, sir. Anyway, what was the name of that character again? Oh yeah, Dave Mattingly says my other Star Wars alias would be Kylo Stimpy.
Oh god.
Oh no. I think I know where you're going with that, Dave, and that's not a direction I'm going to go. Gosh. What do you think, Snips? You gonna, what do you think? Any thoughts? I know you got this. We believe in you, Snips. We believe in you.
I don't know. I would just do something along the lines like I was saying before. I don't know. It's a hard one. I would have to think on it.
How about Sunny? Well, not Sunny because that's like saying the day is.
Ooh.
Right?
I like it.
How about How about Siler Tooling? Siler Tooling, no? Like it's like a sunflower and a tulip, like Siler Tooling, like tulip, but not tooling.
I see.
Siler Tooling. See what I'm trying to do for you here? I'm trying to help
I do.
It doesn't work.
Thank you.
It's not a good name, is it? You don't like it?
I like it. Just this is hard.
It's very difficult. Do you think it's difficult, Jen? Do you think it's difficult for her?
Well, no, I think that's a hard question for anyone because automatically us as fans, we want to do something that coming up with a name is Star Wars related somehow. That's not too out of universe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Teo Baylor is what I came up with. Roxanne says, I like that name. Thank you. Yay. I do my best. Thank you, Roxanne Christian. Appreciate you. By the way, make sure you're following Roxanne Christian on all forms of social media. Her links can be found in the description of her episode of And I Quote, which is located in the description below. So of that episode, respectively, not this one. But anyway, that's what we think. So if anyone else feels like playing the improv game where you're on the run from the evil clutches of the Empire, bounty hunters, smugglers, and anyone else who's out to get you, You need to come up with an alias. What is your Star Wars alias going to be? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. That is going to do it for this episode of what is known as the Nerdy Cantina, unless my co-hosts have anything else they would wish to add.
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Me either.
I just didn't want to leave two of you hanging. If there's something else on your mind, I want you to be able to share with our lovely audience. So with that being said, this has been fun. We have finished now questions 11 through 20, which means on the next episode, we are going to start with question number 21 and work our way from there respectively. So with that, Christie, Jen, you're both lovely, fantastical people that is part of this galaxy far, far away. Christie, where can the good people of the interwebs follow you on social media?
You can follow me online at Snips & Co. and on Etsy at Snips & Co., which I have a show a week and a half from now in New Jersey. And then you can also follow me at Admiral Reads and at Book Ascendancy.
Yay! Congratulations on the upcoming show. Can't wait to look forward to all the incredible business and wonderful things you're going to be doing there. So, Jen, where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media?
I have two different Instagrams. One is Rocking Your Bald. I have a podcast called Rocking Your Bald where I talk to other people in my alopecia community about their personal alopecia stories, as well as fun other things, because I will be expanding in the near future, which I'm excited about. You can also follow me at my personal handle, Jen Arminia Gadowski. It's right there on the screen. And I also run a Star Wars Universe fan club on Clubhouse where we have discussions about current shows. And we have a book club, and we are reading book 1 from Wave 1 of High Republic. So we have our first room actually this Friday at 8:30, so make sure you check that out.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for being with us. Do greatly appreciate it. Jen, Christie, you're both wonderful people. My name is Ryan for Nerd Culture. Feel free to follow me in the craziness that ensues at RyanRPM5 on Twitter and Instagram. Also, make sure you're following us at Nerd Culture Channel on all our social media channels. And by the way, just so you know, we are this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration that's going to include returning guests such as Christie and Jen. They are invited to make an appearance and be with us and share in the celebration. Also, surprises are going to be in store and special giveaways, including prints from our good friend, the Art of John Pinto, including this print that you could win and walk away with. Speaking of Darth Vader could be going home with you. Who knows? And also, here's another example of some of the work you could walk away with. A print of these characters from Doctor Who. Hello, sweetie. You know, we have all kinds of prints from our good friend, the Art of John Pinto, including Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Look at that one. Oh, my gosh. I know you want to win that one and walk away with it. So the best thing you can do is tell all your friends about us. Help us reach 1,000 before the end of the year of 2023 so we can throw that great big live stream celebration. Also, The Meaning of Fandom, a new episode, is going to drop on Friday the 20th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to have new guests. They're going to be sharing with us what a specific fandom or character means to that individual and why. So definitely tune in for that. Also, our movie anniversary watch-alongs are going to come back in the month of November with 30th anniversary watch-alongs for The Three Musketeers from Walt Disney Pictures, Mrs. Doubtfire starring the late, great Robin Williams and company, and a 007 film by the name of Quantum of Solace turns the big 15 years old in November. So there's the schedule, and all the links are available on our social media channels. So thank you for watching or listening to this. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified when our videos go up or they go live. And remember, the Force will be with you always.
There's so many. Has anyone been to them all?
Not likely.
I want to be the first one to see them all.
Truly wonderful the mind of a child is.
Come on. When you find people who need your help, you help them, no matter what.
We have hope. Hope that things can get better. And they will.
Stand up together. Because that's when we're strongest. As one.
You won't be going alone. You'll have a friend with you.
No. I'll have a Jedi with me.
You might want to buckle up, baby.
Rise
in the Force.
Take care of this little one.
It'll take care of you. We had each other. That's how we won.
The force is strong in my family.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
All right, I'm a little tired, I'm a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.